Most of us have experienced brain fog or feeling forgetful at some point in our lives. But what if we could boost our memory by following a simple method? The method of loci, also known as the memory palace, is a powerful technique used to trigger memory by associating a specific place with the information to be recalled. This technique involves creating your own unique memory landscape known as a memory palace. Your memory palace is specific to you and makes it easier for you to retain key information for whatever you want to recall. You may know of someone who seems to have an impressive ability to recall information. Although it may seem like these people are unusually gifted, this may not be the case. In fact, it may be that these individuals simply organize their thoughts and memories in more creative and unusual ways. The brain is like a muscle in that if we don't use it, we'll lose it. Training our brain and actively learning and expressing creativity aids in creating new neural pathways that promote increased memory. This means that although we are all genetically different, having a good memory isn't necessarily something we are born with. It's definitely something that can be improved. To do this, we can implement memory-boosting techniques like the one we're going to talk about in today's video. By using this technique, we can help improve our memory and recall information more effectively. The method of loci is a method of improving memory and recall by using visualizations. This method was founded over 2,000 years ago by the ancient Greeks and Romans, and was initially used to memorize speeches. In fact, authoritative figures were only deemed successful and competent if they could deliver a speech without referring to their notes. The method of loci has been proven to be one of the most successful methods to improve memory and recall in a short period of time. So how does it work? According to the legend, the method of loci was first used by a Greek poet, 𝐤𝐚𝐬𝐧𝐭 of Chios. This famous poet merely escaped the devastating destruction of a building that was hosting a banquet one night. He left coincidentally right before the building caved in, killing everyone inside. The destruction was so great that family members and friends were unable to identify the deceased guests. This was when 𝐤𝐚𝐬𝐧𝐭 realized that picturing the spatial layout of the banquet hall allowed him to recall the names of the guests seated in each place. From this unfortunate experience, 𝐤𝐚𝐬𝐧𝐭 went on to establish that memory and recall become easier when we associate information with a physical location we are familiar with. 𝐦𝐨𝐬𝐬 is a memory-boosting technique that takes advantage of our natural ability to remember physical spaces and external environments. By practicing 𝐦𝐴, we can improve our memory of important information. To practice 𝐦𝐴, we need to first become familiar with a place or object. Once we have a good understanding of the place or object, we can start to associate it with important information that we want to remember. For example, if we want to remember a list of vocabulary words, we can associate each word with a different object in the room. By doing this, we can improve our memory of the vocabulary words. So how can we practice the loci method to boost memory? Memory palaces are a great way to improve your memory. By associating information with specific locations, you can more easily recall the information later. To create a memory palace, start by choosing a familiar route and identifying specific locations along the way. These locations will be your memory pegs. Then, place information at each location. Be sure to place the information in the correct order, if applicable. Practice often by visualizing the route and each memory peg. With practice, you will be able to more easily recall the information later. When creating a memory palace, it is important to visualize the route in a clockwise or anti-clockwise direction. This will help to keep the information organized in your mind. To further help with organization, identify different locations in your route to use as memory pegs. The more information you need to remember, the more locations you will need to identify. Once the locations are identified, start placing objects at each location that you need to remember. It is helpful to make the object as vivid as possible in your mind. The method of loci has been shown to be successful in retaining information and improving cognitive function. One study showed that students who used the technique after a lecture retained more information than those who did not. The method of loci can help you retain new information and develop new skills. With many other studies supporting these findings, this ancient brain-boosting technique is one to try out. We hope you've learned something new today, and that this video has encouraged new ways of thinking to boost your memory power. Now we'd like to know what tools. Do you use it to support your memory and cognitive function? Let us know in the comments below. That's all for today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to hear more videos from our channel, subscribe and make sure to turn on the bell icon.